Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Happy to have you all join us. Today we're going to be processing without a format, and it appears that this platform needs a boost, which we have just given it. It's important to keep everything proper. So I have my terminal open here. We're gonna go over the markets, but first we're gonna get ready. Oh, by the way, let me show you guys my updated platform. Oh, 1 second. Give me one quick second. I'm gonna make it the most awesomest. All right. First of all, check out my newly upgraded platform. Ooh, Ferrari SF90 XX, black with the racing stripe. So let me show you. Oh, wait, brightness is too high. See if the computer can see. That's still too high. Okay, much better, right? Let me turn it off so you guys can see how it powers on. So I swipe up. See how the dealership is always open. We got a Revuelto for sale. Really, for today, what I have for sale is a McLaren P1. I selected it yesterday, but look how cool that looks, man. I squared the letters instead of using the Android font, and hold up. Did I just get a response from Moses? Let me see. Let me just reply. No way I am that lucky. God bless. Ah, okay. I replied. Shout out to Moses the jeweler. Um, and shout out to Miss hold up, Arland Hamilton. And let me see if I could show you the thumbnail of her latest video. It's on my LinkedIn. But I think we're going to discuss some of that. Let me see first and foremost if I can get this platform going because it looks like the battery was completely drained. So let's open up our Baja app. We're going to do reflections first, and then we'll go with everything else. But um, let's see what else we got. Open up your Google News. We'll select an article from there. I think for my ESL students, English as a second language, let's open up Dominican newspapers and let's go to we're gonna go to where is it? It's not here. You know what? Let's just put that aside. But at least we have a baseline. You know what? Instead, open up your Learn Business Management. Let's go to Advanced Statistical Modeling. Let's see if this is pulling up. Either way, let's not waste too much time because I know that that will load. And actually, the app is not working. So, you know what? Let's just fly off the handlebars, right? So, let me see if I can get this terminal going because it appears to be completely without charge. Press enter. Um, I don't know if it's the internet. Well, either way, please join me for today's cup of coffee. I did a few different things for today. Instead of using 2% milk, I used 98% water. I used 2 spoons of the Nescafe Classico. I used 3 spoons of the French vanilla, and I added a little bit of 2% milk. Instead of microwaving it, I put it in my teapot, in my tea maker. I only warmed up the water. I made a souffle with the Nescafe and the cappuccino, the French vanilla cappuccino. Added just enough milk to make a souffle. I poured the water in the mug because if I poured it in the bowl, it was going to be difficult to pour it and I could burn myself. So I poured the water nearly almost to the top. I poured in the souffle and it gave it that bold espresso, not too over the top. I didn't want it to be too sweet. I didn't want it to be too sour. It came out very strong, which is what we need to start the day, start the week. Most of my students are overseas, um, in unknown regions of the world. So for them, it's either much later in the day, and in some parts of the world, it's even earlier in the morning than it is for me today. So I want to, oh, you see, my terminal's updating. That's what it is. I want to welcome you guys and thank you guys for stopping by for this gathering of the minds today, April the 21st, 2025. Um, Quick background on myself. Yesterday was Easter, so happy belated holidays to everyone. Um, I pray and I hope that you spend it with your loved ones and you got to do some pretty cool activities, regardless of your religious belief or, you know, what resonates with you in your heart. Here you are loved, respected, honored, and supported. First and foremost, for myself, I released 2 podcasts, one radio show that was live. I released a new album, 7 new songs. Everything came out phenomenal. Very, very proud of it. Um, Actually, what you saw in that NFT um, is part of the image changing NFT that I released yesterday. If you got the NFT early, you got to see that version. And it has a timer that changes the NFT and it locks it in place. So it's always a surprise. Anytime you listen to my album, after you hear it the first time, the NFT is going to change. And you only have one opportunity to enjoy it as it is when it's first being played. I also scheduled a meeting with an investment firm, and I basically had a different approach because I was able to vet this company out much better. So I'm getting better at this. Remember, this is new for me to do it for myself without a team or a staff that's dedicated just to that. Because, as you know, I'm the artist, right? And I'm negotiating my catalog. There's a lot of different ways that the catalog can produce and, create a return on investment. Give me one quick second because my terminal has powered up and we're going to use it as best as we can. Oh man, we powered up, baby. We are powered up. Let me see. Um, oh, okay. I see why it wasn't firing up, but it's okay. So, first and foremost, let us go to, uh, oh, sorry about that. Let's click on that, and then we will go to Wikipedia, and we'll pick out a few modules. So let's pick our creature or our animal of the day. Now, I have to give this some thought, right? I just saw a McLaren Artura, which is a hybrid, V6 hybrid. We could actually talk about it. And we have the element of the day, which is electricity. So let's go electricity, right? Um, let's continue. Let's open up another folder. Make sure you guys have it on engineering. And let's go with McLaren Artura. That way we can talk about it because by doing so, I know for a fact we are going to have access to the P1. They have to mention the P1, right? So let's pull up the car that we have for sale today, right? Because we're a business, we're entitled to make a profit. Let's go to um, our sponsors, our business partners for today's episode. And let's do the damn thing. Um, we'll talk about the inventory. That way we can work our way. We're going to go top 3, 6, 9. Let's go top 12, top 15. Mm, top 16, 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, we'll do top 24. How's that? We'll do top 24. We'll segue into it. And again, very special shout out to Carrillo Motor Cars in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Um, please connect with us online. And of course, let them know that you're dealing with me and me only, right? So shout out to Carrillo, Vanderhall of Fort Lauderdale. We are located at 5120 North State Road 7, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You can call us at 954-733-7555 today from 9 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, you know, don't forget to mention to them that my Cash App is Venomar1Wins. And, you know, don't forget about me. Okay. So now that we've pulled our inventory, you know what I'm realizing? My terminal is constantly opening up an additional tab. I have to uh I have to adjust that. But it's good because this is going to be part of today's lesson. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Bloomberg and we're going to see what opened up first. And what opened up first was the Asia trade. So let us add that to the queue, and then we're going to do the China trade. Um, I doubt we'll make it to the Bloomberg brief, but then the only following thing we need to keep track of will be Bloomberg Technology, which will be in a few hours. So we are ahead of the market. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a simulcast, right? So we'll just have this playing in the background. I'm going to adjust the sound. Fair use, no copyright infringement intended under educational and documentary purposes. We're going to be, you know, dialoguing about this content. You can find this on Bloomberg Television on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button and share it because it's really, really cool stuff. Are you drowning? So let's, of course, um, mute the commercials because that's how it is. So we'll just have this. Let's do a sound test. Now I have the control on Pro Tools. Make sure we put the intro very low. We want it to be so low that. This is the Asian Paul Allen in Sydney. The top okay, we have it on one. Perfect. Asian investors bracing for a choppy week with catalysts ranging from US-Japan tariff negotiations to key economic data. Now, the yen edging higher against the dollar for today's creature, I have double control here. Let me see if I can adjust it more. And the currency is said to be on the negotiating table. And China's give me one quick second. This is one on the final input. And 32 on the secondary output. Okay, so I thought about electricity because I saw the McLaren Artura. So we're going to go with the electric eel. Right? That's going to be the creature of the day. And again, whether we, okay, I put it on 24 on the secondary output. I think 28 is the magic number. Our subconscious mind will still be able to absorb this and record this. So now the question becomes, how can we implement this into our day-to-day lives or business? So let me tell you first everything I got going on so that we can establish a baseline. And then we're going to just let the matrix pull us to teach us today's lesson. So here we go. Everything is temperature. Enjoy. I don't know how the heck that happened, but it looks pretty cool. And I see it happen on both sides. That was the froth. Because if you look on this side, perfect, right? Did it myself. So let us get started. So Arland Hamilton, somebody that I look up to, somebody that I'm going to be joining directly and indirectly because she has several different programs that I'm very, very interested in. And because of that, I am going to partake in those communities. Um, it's based on the school platform with a K. If you follow like after school for illustration, is a beautiful thing. Today, in one of her specials, she spoke about using fiber, different things like that for your business, which I recommend because it's a very, very powerful tool. I'm in a little bit of a dilemma and it kind of brings everything together. So let's talk about it. So, when vetting out these investment firms, right? I have to do a much better job at doing that, because remember that this for me is more complex than just an investment. This is my life's work. This is my legacy. This is the big payoff, the cash out. This is everything, right? I realize a lot of these investment firms, they're easier to connect with because they are disrupting financials, right? So that's their thing. Like they literally tell you that in their pitch decks and things like that. Because equally, the same way that they have you download a PDF file with all their questions, basically, they have to sell themselves to the creatives, to the entrepreneurs, to the visionary CEOs, the people that are creating these products and services. And it goes to show a lot about the structure. So a lot of them are based on building a structure around search engine optimization, direct marketing, having access to these powerful, powerful servers in order for them to do what they do best. And the thing about that is that it puts everything into perspective, because it makes me think about what their fields really are. They're really technology companies that have access to um you know these pools of resources. In other words, they're just consultants. That's the best way I can explain it. So consultants will be our theme of the day. So type in consultants Wikipedia, and um, let's open a new tab and we'll discuss that. So every time we highlight a keynote moment, what we're going to do is we're going to speak about it. And I've lowered the output to 24 because the lady speaking here speaks a little bit louder than the baseline of the actual program. So for my students studying multimedia, this is going to help a lot. So I have to do a better job vetting these companies out. And when I realized their fees, right? For example, I've been asked everything from $1 to $1 million, right? This particular company, which shall remain anonymous because we haven't done any business, so I can't recommend them. They charge $50,000 up front. And again, this is where my conflict is, and where I want you guys to comment in the comment section below, in the box below, or you can write me directly. All my contact information is public. Basically, how can I express it? I have a unicorn, right? There is no formula to do what I'm doing. Nobody's broken these Guinness World Records. Nobody has a catalog with this much music. Nobody has negotiated this by themselves. This is the conflict of interest. Right now, for me, it's crunch time. My family needs me financially more than they ever have my entire life. So the pressure's on, you know, just like brewing the perfect cup of coffee, or growing the perfect tobacco to make the perfect cigar. It has taken time to age things, to prune things, to make sure that things are where they need to be. And it's a challenge because if you understand business and technology, this is a clear home run. If you do not, you have to jump through as many loops and rings of fire as in the regular financial system. And that's the problem. You attract people that not only want to hit a home run, they want to hit a grand slam, but they don't want to do it as a team. They want to do it individually. Now you're dealing with people's psychosis, their psychology, their training, their education, their background. When this is not just a product or service, this is a human being, living, breathing human being that goes through day to day challenges as the average person. So all I'm doing is building a bridge of knowledge and understanding for my students, for my followers, for my loved ones, for my peers, for my colleagues, for my clients, because the master gets the greatest lesson by me constantly sharpening these swords. I'm having all these meetings on a daily basis. You know, it sharpens my skills. And what would be my advice to the new generation is to do the same thing. So when I realize this, I think to myself, as an entrepreneur, I cannot allow myself to pay 50, 100,000 to these companies based on the metrics that they're using to run their business. I get it. For a lot of other investments, it may make sense. For my investment, it makes no sense absolutely. Now you have to go unconventional. Now you got to play the Hollywood Squares game. I got to go to the pool parties and go to the industry shakers and talk to people and get the word out and then see what comes into the funnel, which is something I don't want because I live a very private life. And when you're out there in the public, even when you're networking, you're dealing with the public. So you don't know what's coming in through the funnel. Now it's a added layer of responsibility for me to vet out like, okay, industry people, business people, you know, tech people, art people, entertainment people, investment, financial people, like all these things at once, because what I'm bringing to the market connects everything. It is the answer and the solution to this huge problem that all artists have. And I'm at the forefront. I'm fucking light years ahead of the whole industry. I'm the time traveler from 99, 98. They can't process that. They cannot comprehend that. So it creates a gift and a curse. It creates an opportunity, but an equal challenge. And this is what we're facing. This is why it can go through so many verticals or horizontals. So I know that there are entrepreneurs in this AI revolution that are facing the same challenge in a different way. This video is for you. This video is for them because as much as I want to format it in a different way, I have no choice. Technology is not going to stop moving for any of us. And I still have to administrate this in the best possible way. So for my students and my graduating classes and our new students, this is the reason why we pick a creature every day. We pick a piece of hardware, software. As a matter of fact, we always pick an aircraft. For today, let's pick something special. Let's go C2 spy plane. And let this represent our research, right? Let this represent um, what we will need to be successful in this future. So let's go ahead and format everything. We're going to go Electric Eel. We're going to go Lockheed Martin, U2, spy plane. We're going to go consultants. Then we'll go with electricity. We'll go McLaren Artura. We'll branch off to McLaren P1. And before we do all of that, we are going to go with the showcase of the day, which I'm sure you all are excited about. So, this is my challenge. I have an 8,000 plus song catalog. I know the future of music and entertainment. I know the future of everything that will be Web3, blockchain, and digital assets. The problem is I'm still in the past. I'm from the year 99, 98. I'm stuck in 2025 for the next 81, 82 years. So there's a difference when you understand that in today's time, when people are so used to doing business a certain way. For example, the Anthony Hamilton Institute, and shout out to Miss Arland because those are her descendants, that's her family. This is where I learned the best business ever because I learned business from the 16th, 17th, 18th, 1900s. That to me was the holy grail, the mecca of business. Everything else that we've seen in the past 200 years is only a remix or a remake or an ulterior version, right, of that, like an evolutionary version of that. Give me one quick second, 'cause I'm very emotionally invested and charged up. And as you can see, we just have a commercial for Vanguard. I remember when I started investing hard body, not in the beginning of my career, but towards the middle of my career. I had a client mention to me, one of my financial advisors said, "Yo, go for Vanguard." And I was so locked into my investments that I was like, "What is that?" Then I did research and I said, "You know what? That's a good all around portfolio for those that are interested in that." But again, this is for educational purposes. This is not financial advice. Invest at your own risk, your own risk tolerance. I've been blessed to be able to make millions of dollars and invest millions of dollars and manage millions of dollars and work with many, many different products, services, companies, industries, and trades. And always as a student, always as a master alumni of the game. That's what kind of sets me apart. Plus, my learning curve was completely different. I spoke about it on the podcast yesterday. For my students, they know there's no right or wrong. There's no left and right. There's no up and down, no x axis, no y axis. There's no in or out. There's no forwards or backwards. We are just processing data as human beings. The same way that a child would process data when they're born, when they're in the womb, when they're being created, when they're growing and developing. The world of business before COVID-19 doesn't exist. The world of business before artificial intelligence and high power technology doesn't exist. So any belief system of business that you had previously is completely different. And these entendres become parts of our day to day lives. For example, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a PhD, I'm an artist, I'm a philanthropist, I'm an author, many, many things. Because I'm a doctor, because I'm a PhD in over 200 different concentrations, I make the assumption as a human being that everybody has an education, that everybody's going to be nice and respectful, that everybody's going to do business ethically. Some people don't even think ethically, don't act ethically, don't speak ethically. So, how can they incorporate that into their day to day lives? How can they incorporate that into their businesses, their industries, or their trade? It's impossible for them to do that because they have not developed the muscles to be able to do that. Again, why is it that all my information is public knowledge or publicly available? It's because I need to show consistency every single day in everything that I do. This is not just what I do, this is who I am. So, all investment firms, of course, they're going to watch these videos. I'm not trying to get likes, clicks, and views and shares. I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm sharing this journey of me developing a company from zero to $1 trillion. $1 billion is within, this lifetime. $1 trillion is within a few thousand generations. I understand that today. The responsibility, the pressure for that is today. And that's what I'm sharing so that you can prioritize everything you're doing in business equally so. So it's very important for me to format this in a way that everybody can understand because as you can see, it's a battle of the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind. It's every cell in your body forming a corporation, which is who you are. You have parts of your body that want to excel and want to try new things. You have parts of your body that are stuck in their ways. They only know old school business. They only know the last few hundred years instead of the last few thousand years. They only know business prior to COVID-19. They only know business prior to the economic recession of 2007, 2008, the market crash. They only know business before artificial intelligence. They can't process what the fuck is going on. Miss Arland spoke today about creating a GPT of her company. She trained this AI model. I know how she did it, but maybe that, it's hardware, software information, so it does not pertain to this conversation. But now she's able to offer it. So for me, that's an added bonus that I built these systems for the last few decades. So now I'm seeing how every business, just like they had their own website, which became their own apps, which is a small part of the internet. When you combine the company's website and, you know, that little portion of the internet, now every company has their own GPT. So eventually we're going to come up with some type of nickname so that we don't call it by its computer code, which is everybody knows is chat, OpenAI, right? But you have others. You have Copilot, you have Siri, you have Sarah, you have Alexa, and uh, what is that one called? Blue Ocean, Deep Sea, something like that. I don't know what it's called, but I'm not impressed by it. But regardless of the fact, how can we, on a day to day, process this data and then implement that into our own businesses? Because if not, it's just data. If not, we're just studying to study, we're just learning to learn instead of learning so that we can build with it and apply it to other things. So, what I realized as an artist is that everything is controlled, that the game is rigged. You are part of a pay to play system. If you're an artist and you have $5 million worth of marketing, you're going to be all over the world. If you're an artist and you have $1 million for marketing, you're going to be partially in parts of the world. If you're an artist that only has a few $1,000s, you're lucky if you're within a region because every avenue on the internet has a price. So it's no longer about what's good or not. Any product service that you create has to be good or it's not going to survive, no matter where you put it or how much marketing, promotion, publicity you do. So we're using the baseline that every product and service that you create meets the standards of what is already available in the market and it supersedes that, meaning it's better than that. It's no longer about clicks, likes, and views. The algorithm has changed. The algorithm is just a calculator and a program that continues to activate the calculator. So now everything is based on interest and focus. So just by you clicking certain content, your algorithm completely changes to deliver more of that because it's trying to deliver the dopamine of the like and the subscribe and the share that you would get from joining a platform where you had an influencer that has hundreds and hundreds of millions of followers. You don't need that anymore because now it's based on interest. You don't need to follow a superstar, celebrity, or creative to get access to what they have. Whatever they're interested in is what's being offered to you. So, for example, I do a lot of things automotive. I have business partnerships all over the world, and this has been for the last 20 years. Now, business has changed. So, my relationship with these manufacturers has changed, but I'm still an automotive historian. I'm still an engineer and designer. I'm still the Knight Rider, the real life Knight Rider, the greatest driver of all time that you've never heard of. But I'm behind, my brain is inside of some of your most powerful and famous hyper super sports cars. And I'm one of many drivers, but I'm probably the most important one because I'm the most limited of those drivers. There are other people that they're going to push to the front to sell tickets, to sell products, to sell services, to sell vehicles. I'm in the sales side, I'm in the financial side, I'm in the engineering developmental side. I'm a prototype driver, not just on the track, but on the streets. The faces of these companies are your influencers, your superstars, your celebrities. Where I may make a few 100,000, they're making a few million. And in order for me to make a few million, I have to meet them above corporate. I have to bring so much value to the company that the company makes billions of dollars for me to make millions. So I have it twice as hard because I have 12 times their limitations. Now, I could be gripeful about that. I can feel limited about that. Or I can use it as my superpower and say, you know what? I'm better than Lewis Hamilton. I just don't have the credentials that he has. I don't have the structure that he's had. I didn't have the opportunities that were given to him. I don't have the opportunities that he worked hard for. But that's not a bad thing because I'm able to learn from him and I'm able to learn from my own experience. And I can combine the knowledge and create a new opportunity that he's unable to create. He left Mercedes Benz, he's in Ferrari. I have partnerships with Ferrari. I've had partnerships with Mercedes Benz in the past. The technology that I worked on is inside the AMG GT1, which is the fastest car in the Nürburgring. Directly or indirectly, there are opportunities for me. But I, as an artist, as an entrepreneur, as an engineer, I have to make the phone calls. I have to call Nike. I have to call Under Armour. I have to call Adidas. I have to call Reebok. I have to call Tom Ford. I have to call Tom Hartley. I have to call Banana Republic. I have to call Gap. I don't have the luxury of them calling me. Maybe after World's Guinness records, because we're in a legal dispute. Maybe after Christie's and Sotheby's. Maybe after BlackRock and Blackstone, they'll come to me. But in the meantime, I have a family to take care of. I have a legacy that I'm building, and I'm building it in real time. I'm challenging the world, the universe, to bring these concepts to all of you, knowing that this is going to put the competition privy to what I'm doing. And what do you think they're doing? They're working on new product services and things to penetrate this environment. But I am first in this environment. When you're talking about blockchain, Web3, decentralization, all these things, it's great to know about them and understand them. But are you able to deliver something new to the market that's never been seen before? Are you a visionary? Are you a time traveler confirmed? Can you see the future today? Because the future is one today. Tomorrow never dies because tomorrow never lives. Tomorrow does not exist. All we have is this moment right here. So, what do you think is happening as I'm sharing this with all of you, right? The critics, the naysayers, the people that want to contain you in a box to say that it's impossible, they're sharpening up their weapons to try to do battle with you. But they don't understand that I own the whole battlefield. And I don't just own this arena, I own all the arenas. I'm only limited to what God put in this beautiful mind and in this beautiful heart, spirit, and soul. I don't believe in boundaries. You cannot tell me this is impossible when I know the technology because I've worked on it, software and hardware. You cannot take away my understanding up here. You can't take that away from me. You can't change that. You can't alter it. Your opinions about me do not justify your behavior, do not improve your chances of beating me in business. Business is baseball. Eventually, I'm going to get off the field and I'm going to be at home plate. And when I bat, it's grand slams, baby, in the good way, ethically, which is something we spoke about previously. So let's take a moment and process that for a quick second. And let's take another sip of our cappuccino. Just like a nuclear atom in a nuclear bomb, right? You don't know how much energy something has until it's released. So notice how creative and artistic I am and how I'm quick to engage because I'm passionate. I really believe in this technology. I really believe that this is the future. I really believe that this is going to change lives. I know for sure the responsibility on my shoulders to take all this wealth that I'm building to help God's people. I'm a religious man. That's just my choice. That's what I chose to do with my life. I'm not interested in a 787 Boeing or a Gulfstream 5000. Don't care about those things. I like the Series Vision jet, and I'm a Honda Jet Elite owner. That's it. Don't expect anything more from me because that's not my thing. I'm not Flash Gordon. I said this in the podcast yesterday. Just because I have partnerships with elite corporations such as Ferrari, just because I have access to an over $400 million collection, does not mean that that is for personal. That is business. Those are investments. We may sell one or two cars per year. I just got the lowest mileage LaFerrari in the United States, probably the world. We're still waiting to see if it's the lowest mileage LaFerrari. That is a position of privilege and power. Everybody doesn't have access to that. Now, is that a car I may sell in the next 3 years? Probably not. But the fact that I've been entrusted with this opportunity is a blessing. And I'm not going to water it down and take it for granted or lightly because things may have not worked out um, in any particular way, right? So again, just like the example that we gave earlier, right? Which is I don't have the luxury to wait on Nike to call me. I can't wait on Lamborghini to call me. I can't wait on McLaren to call me. I have to make moves. When McLaren of Florida was opening up in a particular part of town, I was involved in the project. I thought I would still be in Florida to do all the showcases. I'm not going to be able to do those showcases probably until the next few months. Did the responsibility change? No, the responsibility grew. And that consistency is what sets me apart. I give you another example with my publicist. And shout out to you, Miss Kalila Shapiro. She's very expensive, but she's very good. I'm no longer a child star. I'm not suckling onto Miss Shapiro and saying, Miss Shapiro, what are we going to do? No, I'm creating opportunities. I'm bringing the opportunities to her. And now that I control the verticals and the horizontals, I'm saying, Ms. Shapiro, I want you to do this with what I'm giving you. We're going to partake. My bond, my commitment, my loyalty still stands. But business has changed. So now the roles have changed. I'm not just asking for a handout. I don't believe in get rich quick. I don't believe in cutting corners. I believe in doing business the right way. And if I see that the industry has changed, where now I have to take more responsibility with every product service that I endorse or sponsor, it's my responsibility to go to my publicist and say, this is what I have for you. Because I already went through the publicist saying, this is what you need to do. Yet all the results fall back on me. This is not about, well, that's not the most prestigious firm or the most whatever. The greener grass is the one that you water. Grass is not always greener on the other side. That's a illusion. It's like walking in the desert. It's a mirage. Work on your business, your products, your services, your vision, and nothing else matters or exists. Because at the end of the day, business is war and business is a competition. What you're envisioning and dreaming about and aspiring and setting goals for, there's a billion other people doing the same thing. The difference is the execution. What's going to determine your success is what you bring to the table. What makes you different? I use everything that God gives me. That's one of my golden rules. All I can do is use what God has given me. I understand the whole system because I took the time to educate myself on all of these systems. They're all formulas. Once you understand how the formulas work, you can multiply it, duplicate it, teach it, build on it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All based on you. Whether you have one investment in one portfolio or 100, it's the same headache. You might as well get a reward for it. It doesn't matter how many industries or trades that I'm in, it's the same headache. I'm still stressed out But that's my job. That's my position. That's what sets me apart. You cannot give me a job in McDonald's. I'll become a CEO of the company. Most people do not go into McDonald's with that mentality. So, of course, they're only getting minimum wage. Of course, all they're walking away with is a paycheck every 2 weeks. For me, I see the potential of not only buying the McDonald's, buying the shopping center, buying the buildings, real estate, real collateral cash outs, leveraging that cash flow and income into multiple investments. I'll give you an example. Mr. Squib, which is part of my uh, hallmark, additions to my network. He opened 19 businesses. He developed 19 companies, but he's invested in over 200. He understood the power of leveraging 19 investments into 200. That's where his quantum growth is. The growth wasn't like this. The growth wasn't like this. It was like this. I wish this was taught in business school. I wish I understood that. I wish there was a course I could watch online or a book I could download or somebody I could talk to that would explain this to me for free, which is what I'm doing for all of you. Why? Because it makes a world of a difference. The people that think that they know part of this knowledge, even 1% of 1% of 1%, are going to charge you a consultant fee. Why did you think that we selected consultants today as an example? Because I realized as an artist, everything is consultants and raising capital. When you're doing future time traveler shit that doesn't exist, remember, there was no such thing as MySpace just yesterday, or Facebook, or Twitter, or Instagram, or Snapchat, or LinkedIn, or Discord, or Threads, or Pinterest, or whatever. Just yesterday, none of that existed. You're going to need consultants, you're going to need to do research, and you're going to have to raise capital. Chances are, new ideas, new business, new industries, new trades, new products, new services, you're going to have to go outside of conventional marketing, outside of conventional financing. Maybe you have to go to an angel investor just to get things going, to get everything legalized, to get everything formatted, to put everything in a portfolio under a trust fund, corporations, etc., holdings companies, so that you can even present it to the primary market, so that it can be underwritten by a corporation. I remember when that went from a few $100s to a few thousand. Now it's on average above 50 grand. How can I, as an entrepreneur, allow myself to spend 50, 100,000 on these companies when I see that they are tech companies and I disagree with their approach because I clearly see how they can approach it differently? I'll give you an example. I start an investment firm or a trust fund, which I own an investment firm that has trust funds. One second. JPM Investments Firm is my company, right? The difference is I started with my own money. I didn't go to the bank. I didn't go to this one or that one. I didn't do it this way, that way. No, I put my own money and said, okay, I hit a home run. It's not going to last forever. $1 billion home run. Okay. Now I have to diversify because I'm not going to make it. I know that I had a unicorn once in a lifetime. I may never be able to hit a home run like that, even though in my heart I still felt like I could. But just to be safe, let me invest. So all these consultants and venture capital firms, raising money firms, outside of conventional financing firm, equity firms, angel investors, they're all kind of the same. They're non-conventional financing. They all have this system built to be able to connect and hyper connect with investors that want to diversify. The people that really know money, understand finances, they have their Roth IRA and their 401ks and this, that, and the third, and the small business and the career and everything that I teach you guys when you're building a money machine, right? Now, all they do is build a bridge between the venture capitalists and the the think tanks, the creatives, the visionaries, the CEOs, the people that are bringing new shit to the market because they're exploring new opportunities, new avenues to make money. Some of these people, they already have franchises, they already do real estate, they already do this, they already do that. But technology provides an additional slice, additional layer where the growth is most of the time quantum because it's based on timing. Now, this is where I feel like they fail. They charge you a ridiculous amount of money, making you believe because you hear it so much. Like for me, I speak to these investment firms a few times every single day, no matter what's going on in my life. I'm fucking talking to some type of financial institution, right? I'm negotiating something, and mostly for myself, right? My company, my everything. They charge you a ridiculous amount of money plus a percentage of what they raise, as if that's not insult to injury, because they understand the backward dynamics of the statistics. Chances are you're probably going to crash and burn. There's a higher chance that you're going to crash and burn when you're pursuing a unicorn than not. Every company is not Twitter. Every company is not Facebook. Every company is not MySpace. Every company is not LinkedIn. Their short term vision is we're going to take an insurance deposit, the upfront consultation fee. Then we're so sure about our system that when it works, we're going to take a percentage. I've heard numbers as high as 6%. Do you know what some people would do for 6% from a bank right now? Do you know how much money that is over 10, 20, 30 years? This is 6% every 27 days. That's another trick that they don't tell you. That's a 720% return right there. For my math students, do the math. That's off the top of my head. I'm just giving you baby numbers. That is ridiculous. The average person is going to get discouraged. The average person may only make 100,000 a year. That sounds like a lot, but it's not what it used to be. 100,000 buys you two cars that are new, a Honda Accord, Toyota Camry. You're lucky if you have money for insurance and gas. That's it. 100,000, about one Bitcoin, about two cars. Maybe a small house, maybe two small businesses, or three, maybe four, depending how small the businesses are. That's it. What do you do after that? Now they're saying, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to have to go to conventional financing and get credit cards and get a loan so I can sustain this investment to put it all in, my 100,000, to see if I can hit a home run or a triple or a double or a single. They're not thinking about winning the World Series or making it to the playoffs. They're happy if they could win an inning. Forget about winning a game. Some people just go and make that investment. But what if it fails? Because if their system was so good that they're going to ask you for 6% on the back end, they should just say, you know what? We want 7%. We believe in our system so much that we're going to allow you to partake in our system. We're going to get you funded and financed, and we'll just take 7% because we're so sure that our system works. But in reality, that's not the case. What you're paying is pure profit. because that is guaranteed. That 50, 100,000, half a million, $1 million, that's guaranteed in their pocket. That's butter for them, for their toast. The 6% only works if you um, hit the home run. So we'll be part of your team as long as you win the inning and you win the game and you make it to the playoffs and you win the World Series. We got your back. We are with you as long as you are the world champion. Ryu, as long as you're the world warrior, you're the greatest of all time. And after the ceremony, we're walking away before you walk off the podium, which is what Ryu does. Ryu doesn't even walk to the podium. Ryu goes to the next challenge. I will forever be Ryu. You know what I'm saying? In business, all I do is sure you can, sure you can. So, how can we make sense of all of this? If I can tell you from my experience as an artist, record label owner since 1998, signed artist since 97, 98, 30 years in the business, movies, films, series, documentaries, video games, you name it. I'm in entertainment, I'm in technology. Two things: consultants, raising capital. And which one do you think is more important? Raising capital. Let's pull that up on our simulator. Let's go raising capital wiki. It's categorized as funding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Different format. Now that I'm vetting these companies, I cannot allow myself to just give up $100,000 when I can take that and buy Bitcoin and use conventional financing to open 4 or 5 businesses and use that cash flow to leverage for other investments such as real estate and cash out those dividends in bars of silver and bars of gold and get into precious metals and get into precious gemstones such as moissanite or laboratory grown diamonds. I laugh at these companies because they sadly deceive the masses. That's why they're in fucking Dubai, driving the fucking Brabises and the Mensaris, the Novatex, right? Those are those guys. And shout out to all of them. The companies, the brands, and the cars, not the fucking scumbags. Those are the fucking exotics that you see abandoned in the desert because those guys are Ponzi schemes. Those guys, it's only a matter of time. We put the Tolentino clock on them. It's only a matter of time. All that bad karma, you doing people wrong, that shit all comes back. And when it comes back, it destroys you. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't worth it. But some people have to learn the hard way. Where does that leave us? Well, fuck it. I'll take my time. I'll bootstrap this investment. I'll take that 100 fucking thousand and I'll make it a few million. And then I'll hire people that are better than them doing what they do because I already understand all they're going to do as consultants or venture capitalists. All I need to do is put myself in a position to negotiate directly with BlackRock and Blackstone, which I already have. So no, I cannot be impressed. Yes, it's fucking harder than to take a payoff. Yo, I need a few $100 million and lose $1 trillion company, unicorn. Can't do that. My family is too big. These videos serve as my living testament to my descendants to understand business so that they can negotiate efficiently moving forward. Because legacy goals are beyond your lifetime, beyond your generation, beyond your belief, your thought systems, etc. This is a serious responsibility. There are millions and millions of people that depend on me, churches, charities, that are mine. I'm the philanthropist. I chose to do this with my wealth. That's my happiness. That's what gets me up every day, puts me to sleep at night. I burn the midnight oil getting prepared to do all of these things and these metrics. Did it piss me off? 100% it did. But I'm grateful that God showed me the way, that all the education and training built this discipline for me to look at business in this way, to look at the world with this filter. And once you put on the future glasses, you can't take them off. Shout out to my Cyclops design, by the way. Oculus, Ray-Ban, I got nothing on me. Again, all these wonderful opportunities and an equal force opposing that. For every beautiful garden that you plant, the weeds are out to destroy it. Whether it's family, friends, peers, colleagues, clients, customers, competition, the market, the economy, jurisdiction, technological changes, marvels. This is every single day. Everything is moving at the pace of technology. So I am Steve Jobs before Steve Jobs. I am Warren Buffett before Warren Buffett. I am Jack Dorsey before Jack Dorsey. I am Gary Vaynerchuk before VaynerMedia. You're seeing it in real time. This is what Hollywood is not going to glamorize. Don't believe that I'm not an artist because I'm an entrepreneur. I prove that you can be an artist and be an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. If I stop making music today, I am a legend. I'm the greatest of all time in my generation from my stomping grounds. I'm 42 years old with a catalog of over 8,000 songs, thousands of World Guinness records broken and established. I broke over 24 records, but I established a few thousand records. Imagine me having this conversation with my cousin Juju, or my family members, or my friends, or my peers, or my colleagues, or the competition. I'm speaking Japanese to a Chinese person. Sounds the same, looks the same, but it's not the same. People from, Vietnam don't speak like people from Cambodia. People in China don't speak like people in Japan. People in the Philippines don't speak like people in Thailand. And these are just basic examples. I speak Castellano. I don't speak Spanish. I understand Spanish, but I speak Castellano. Where can you find it? In my music. My dialect, completely different from the villages back home, where there's no roads, where there's huts, where people are basic. Those same huts you find in parts of Europe, South and Central America, in the Caribbean, different parts of the world. I am a collective of all of this knowledge. My descendants are from France and Spain, from there to the Caribbean. From there, I grew up on the East Coast, developed in the South, live on the West Coast. I have a world perspective, a world class education. I just mentioned I'm doing the Walk of Fire again at 42. I'm going back to Jerusalem. I'm going back to Mecca. I need to go to Machu Picchu. I got to go to the pyramids. I got to learn about the Incas, the Mayas, and the Aztecs, among many other cultures, because I see the advantage that it gave me, that understanding to look at the world from a broad perspective. People may see the same face, they don't see the 30 plus years of an education, the thousands of books, the homeworks, the modules, the master classes, this, that. People don't see that, especially when they see me on stage for about 2 hours. I can only create that moment for about an hour or two. After that, I can't be an artist. I got to be an entrepreneur. I got to be a family guy. I got to be a husband, a father, a son, a mentor, a teacher, a leader, an alumni, a master. I got to do all these things. But if I separate everything and I take away consulting, all we have is funding, because I'm a visionary. You cannot give me a job in Burger King. You cannot give me a job at Wendy's. You cannot give me a job at Taco Bell. I'm going to walk away a CEO, a COO, a CFO, a president, a regional district manager. I'm not going to go in there and just flip burgers and drop fries or nuggets. I'm going to take $5, $10 an hour and I'm going to make millions of dollars with that. I'm in a position of privilege and power. Most people are not. The best thing is that anybody can pick up all of these attributes and skills, that I'm just like you, that there is greatness inside of you. And I can see that. So I'm going to push you to push yourself outside of those boundaries, regardless of how you grew up, where you come from, what your background is, regardless of what you've been through. For a few moments, we have to block all that shit out and create a universe of positivity. We have to go somewhere and pretend. You have a bad family, pretend that you have the best family. You have problems growing up with your education, pretend that you have a superpower in learning and embrace that and go get that education. You have to do it through an institution, go through an institution. You can afford that, pay for it. If not, don't worry. Teach yourself at your own pace. It doesn't matter if it takes you 12 years to get a 4-year degree. Just like Eric Thomas, that degree is yours. Nobody can take it away from you. My relatives can belittle me, put me down, say this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, 8,000 song catalog, 45 books published, and I have maybe another 45 that I haven't published yet that will be out later this year. $1 billion company when I was 19, record deal when I was 17, started my own record label, probably 14, 15 years old, traveled the world. Um, Started my technology company 2014, 2015. Got incorporated 2016, 2017, going 8 years strong. First artist on the blockchain to put his whole catalog up there. I still have challenges. I still go through day to day shit just like everybody else. But you know what? I'm still able to make my own motherfucking cappuccino. It's important to document these moments. It's important to be able to build a cake out of crumbs. That's a survival skill that most people don't have. There's not a business class or course that I won't take. There's not a book that I won't read. There's not a new strategy that somebody can present to me that I would not implement and try it for myself. I have a mentor that's 10 years younger than me. I've seen this guy become a millionaire, make millionaires, and try to fit in to the status quo of like Hollywood, and it destroyed him. Now he's trying to find his way back. I admired him because he was able to give me so much and give people like myself so much just 5 years ago. 5 years later, I bought a private jet because of him. If you read my books, you know who I'm talking about. It happens. Yeah, Mike Tyson blew 300, 400 million, but George Foreman blew 6, 7, 800 million. You never hear about that. You hear about the George Foreman grill. Holyfield did the same. But everybody remembers Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson. Look at the blessing that Mike Tyson is to many people's lives outside of boxing. I just saw Patrick Ewing attend the Knicks game, Madison Square Garden. I think it was yesterday. That prestige, that honor, that respect is still part of his aura. I remember taking a picture in the playoffs, him next to Michael Jordan. I'm right there with my brother. That picture, we had it blown up, and it was part of my, when you enter my closet before Katrina. I lost it after Katrina was destroyed in the storm. But that energy will forever be the same. Dreams come true. This is not impossible. The challenge is figuring out exactly how you can enter the field. But once you're in the game, you're in the game. Everything I do every day is to maintain, to keep myself, to sustain myself inside of the game. This is not for everybody. Everybody is not meant to understand what I'm saying. This is not for everybody, but everybody can be involved. Everybody can be a part of it. Everybody can educate themselves. Everybody can learn these things. You're only limited by your mentality. If you say that you can't do it, then you can't do it. But if you say there's a way, there's a 1%. You could put 99% of your strength and your pressure and your power into making it happen. And that's what I do every day. I unravel people's insecurities about themselves because they can't stand the fact that no matter what, before the millions, during the millions, after the millions, before the success, during the success, after the success, before the fame, during the fame, after the fame, I'm still the same person. And shout out to you, Morpheus, because I saw that you passed by. My brother, always. Morpheus doesn't miss one of my live streams, not one. That's true family. That's my true brother right there. That's priceless. I have a Lamborghini SV for Morpheus. In our younger years, he had a dark blue, almost purple SV. I had a yellow 911 twin turbo S. We drag raced. I beat him off the line. He could not believe that my Porsche beat his fucking Lamborghini. That moment will forever be embedded in my spirit, my mind, my soul. When I leave this realm, that will go with me for all eternity. As soon as I sign this agreement for the catalog, that car is going to be in front of his office because he deserves that. 2025, time traveler confirmed. First computer in my life I learned about from Morpheus and Air Force salute, Space Force salute. That's a true brother, true friend, a true blessing in my life. And we may not be able to speak every day, but just like with Miss Shapiro, the commitment, the loyalty is there. This is the responsibility that I have with all my family members. It's not meant for them to understand me. They even doubted Jesus. How are they not going to doubt me? I listened to a prayer earlier today and it spoke about Jesus weeping. They didn't understand Jesus. They didn't believe. Now they have no choice but to deal with that force for all eternity. Something very powerful happened that day. And a lot of people were silenced by his actions, his mannerisms. And in every religious belief, there are these figures. All we need to do is learn from them, learn the good. It's not about perfection. I could have taken all these things and felt bad and oh my God and whatever. No, this is my motivation every day. Of course, I'm being challenged. I'm challenging the fucking universe. What the fuck you think? This is easy? Building $1 trillion company? You don't think it's hard? You don't think you're gonna go through moments where you need a few fucking $1 million? You need a few fucking $1 million every day, whether you realize it or not. So imagine the desperation of being in a situation when you know you have something of value to bring to the market, yet you have to wait for the right opportunity. This is not to discourage any entrepreneur. This is to motivate every entrepreneur. What do I need to get better at? I need to externalize that because if I hold on to it, it's like an amber burning me. If I externalize it, I'm able to help even one person. It could be a million, it could be a trillion. Eventually, it'll be a trillion. But that all starts with one snowflake that becomes a snowball that becomes an avalanche off of a mountain. Things take time. Well, you have to get started. When are you going to get started pursuing your dreams? It starts today. All we have is this moment. This is the opportunity. That's all we have. Now, if you guys will give me a quick second, I need to forward this to my business partners because, it's the right thing to do. There may be somebody that may be inspired that needs to hear this. They need to see this. They need to be involved in something similar as this. You know, it's so many things, right? And again, every single day, it's a challenge, it's a curveball, it's a hook shot that you're not ready for. But you have to keep moving forward, Rocky Balboa. Get up, you son of a bitch. That's the angel wing on your shoulder because Mickey loves you. The most valuable and precious thing, the cufflink, Rocky Marciano. That's who I am, Ryu, round one. Fight. That's the story of my life. When has it ever been easy for me? It's never going to be easy for me. I accept it, I embrace it. Now we need to build with that. Let's go forward. Why is it important to learn about these things? It's very important because it's going to determine success or failure in the future and in the now of things. I've invested too much. I've worked too hard my entire life to fail now. All my pain and suffering has not been in vain. I need to get better at vetting all these companies and corporations and consultants and venture capital and fucking angel investors. The same way they're selling their pitch decks to me to do business with me, the same way I have to present my pitch deck to investors, I need to make sure that I'm doing business with the right people. My blessings, my gifts don't come from mankind. My responsibility is that much higher. To whom much is given, much is expected of. With great power comes great responsibility. Peter Parker, Spider Man, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Superman, Batman, Logan, Wolverine. That's the nature of where we are in life today. So, those are things that I wanted to share with you guys in order to inspire you and motivate you to do the same. I still have to create music. I'm going to release an album today. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The pressure is on 24/7. The challenges are here. The lion is not coming. The lion is here. We got to fight this battle. We have to slay this dragon. We have to free the empire. We've burned the ships. We've committed to success. The only way we're getting off the ship is if we win this war. There's no other way off this motherfucking ship. There's no way off this island. There's no other way to change this reality. We have to fucking fight this war. So let's get to it. Let's get to the business of shit. Let's not waste another day. Let's not waste another week. Let's not waste another moment. The barrage of attacks, the messages, the this, the that, all the time. Some shit happens. This shit happens. Some other shit happens. You adjust to that. You pivot. You juke. Some other shit happens. And some other shit happens. That's the jab. Stick to jab. You know what I'm saying? Stick to jab. You feel what I'm saying? Stick to jab. You got what I'm saying? Protect yourself at all times. You know what I'm saying? Protect yourself at all times. That's the moral of the story. Why is it important to not just give you the class and not just get to the showcase? Because we need to build. We have to stay centered to everything. My family is always going to be toxic, it's always going to be abusive. Life goes on. I'm going to be tested for all eternity. Life goes on. It's always going to be hard. It's always going to be painful. It's always going to be difficult, but that's not going to stop me. It's no longer even going to slow me down. I don't live my life for people that don't love me. Every day is going to be a challenge. This is the fight for survival. I've been on survival mode my whole life. What do you think that's going to change? Because I make $1 trillion? It's not going to change. It's always going to be hard. It's always going to be harder for me. I'm a child of abuse. I'm a child of neglect. I'm a child of hurt, pain, uh, malnutrition. I'm all of that. I'm always going to be that. Suffering is always going to be a part of my life. I wasn't born with the silver spoon. I wasn't born knowing everything. Nobody's ever really been there for me. Maybe flash in the pan temporarily for a little bit under certain circumstances. I only have one life to live. I got to be stronger now than ever before because the responsibility is that much bigger. I could keep all of this to myself or I could share it with all of you. This is not only therapeutic for me, this is helping people, it's changing lives. Some may internalize it, it may be direct or indirect. Some may share it, some may like it, some may relate to it, some may not. Some may just look away from it. That's okay. That's how it works. The yin and the yang, everything is a balance. Some of my family members, loved ones, peers, friends, colleagues, everything. Some of them are going to get it 100%, some are not. But every single day, I'm fighting my 12 rounds. Every day. If I got to fight extended rounds, I'm fighting extended rounds. If I have to fight one day boxing, one day MMA, one day martial arts, I'm looking forward to it. I'm like Ryu. I'm walking away from the podium. Next championship, next belt. I'm Bret the Hitman Hart. I'm the Ultimate Warrior. I'm Shawn Michaels. I'm Mr. Perfect. Got to keep going. I'm Razor Ramon. I'm not just the Yankees. I'm the Lakers. I'm not just Jordan. I'm Kobe Bryant. I'm not just Barkley. I'm John Starks. I'm Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm fucking Tracy McGrady. I'm Grant Hill. I'm Scottie Pippen. I'm Tony Kukoc. I'm Dennis Rodman. I'm fucking BJ Armstrong. I'm Horace Grant. I'm Shaquille O'Neal. I'm LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo Anthony. I'm not just Spider Man, I'm also Deadpool. I'm not just Wolverine, I'm also the Hulk. I'm not just Thor, I'm motherfucking Thanos. I'm not just Iron Man, I'm motherfucking Doctor Doom. I'm not just Iron Man, I'm Hawkeye. I'm Nick Fury. I'm Optimus Prime, I'm Bumblebee, I'm Voltron, I'm the Megazord, I'm the Dragon Zord, I'm the Tiger Zord. I'm not just the Green Ranger, I'm also the White Ranger. I think I'm going to release a new version of the Blue Ranger today. I'm not just Forge, I'm Bishop. I don't have to just be an artist or an entrepreneur or a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer or an author. I can do all things. I don't have to just play baseball. I don't have to just do movies or comic books or series or video games. I don't have to just have an urban clothing line. I have business suits. I don't have to just collect Pagani design or St. Martins or Rolexes. I may have Audemars Piguets and you know, Patek Philippe's. I don't have to just collect Ferraris or Porsches or Lamborghinis. I can collect Toyotas and Hondas as well. I don't have to just buy the Mustang, I could buy the Corvette. I don't have to just live in the United States. I don't have to just pay taxes here. I can live all over the world. I can travel the whole world. I can go to Mecca and I can go to Jerusalem. I can do the Walk of Fire and I can go to Machu Picchu and I can go see those pyramids and learn about the Aztecs, the Mayas, and the Incas. I can go to see the uh what's that shit called? The Borealis, whatever that shit is called in Canada, the Northern Lights. I don't just have to like the Beatles. I could like Tina Turner. I don't have to just like Michael Jackson. I could like Prince and Phil Collins and Sade and Jose Feliciano or Jose or Mark Anthony or Hector Lavoe. I don't have to just like hip hop. I could like rap. I could like reggaeton. I could like salsa, bachata, merengue. I do music in all those genres. There's no more limitations in my life. I could keep all this knowledge to myself where I could share it and help you and give you my love directly or indirectly. Maybe I'll work with Miss Hamilton. Maybe I'll work with my friend Pajami. Maybe I'll call my boys at Curated. Maybe I'll do business with Manny Cashman. Maybe I will call Floyd and offer him a new opportunity. Um, who else? Possibilities are endless, but it's understanding everything we just shared. Maybe it's not just BlackRock or Blackstone. Maybe there's other investment capital, but I have to hold everybody up to that BlackRock and Blackstone standard. Anything below that is failure. I might do the auction in Dubai again. I don't know. I may do it in the United States. I would like not to. I was willing to do that for my investors, only to get the same kind of pullback, the same political bullshit. I don't want to sit down with the major three labels, but I'll entertain a business meeting. I can give them 5 minutes of my time, no more than that. Value is engineered from within. I put in the time, I educated myself, I learned these things. I knew I had a criminal record, criminal background. I knew that I was a minority. I come from a broken home, broken family. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. Every type of stereotype stipulation, been there, done that. It's all in my music. It's all in my art. All investment firms are able to see this, dissect it, have a boardroom meeting about it. They can prepare themselves better than I can when they have a business meeting with me. One thing that's not going to change is me. So let's finish this cup of coffee and let's get on with today's module. I believe I have conveyed everything I wanted to convey to all of you. So now let's rock and roll. So today's creature of the day is the electric eel. Let's see what we can learn. And this is from Wikipedia. Please open up your Wikipedia. And we are sure to have it in engineering. The electric eels are a genus, Electrophorus, of neotropical freshwater fish from South America in the family Gymnotidae. They are known for their ability to stun their prey by generating electricity, delivering shocks at up to 860 volts. Their electrical capabilities were first studied in 1775, contributing to the invention of the electric battery. in 1800. So it took them 25 years to learn everything that they needed to create the electric battery. Despite their name, electric eels are not closely related to the true eels Anguilliformes, but are members of the electroreceptive knifefish order Gymnotiformes. This order is more closely related to catfish. In 2019, electric eels were split into three species for more than 2 centuries. Before that, the genus was believed to be monotypic, containing only Electrophorus electricus. They are nocturnal, obligate air-breathing animals with poor vision, complemented by electrolocation. So they have like a radarplex system built inside. Of course, I'm the designer, engineer, and founder of Radarplex. They mainly eat fish. Electric eels grow for as long as they live, adding more vertebrae to their spinal column. Males are larger than females. Some captive specimens have lived for over 20 years. So, what can we learn? It grows eternally, just like we can grow in knowledge. We're not like hardware software. We're not limited by processing units or graphics cards or storage as far as memory. The human mind can expand every day. Every single day we can grow and we can learn. So we want to take that into accountability. Also, we know that they deliver shocks of up to 860 volts. Now, let's compare it to the size of the average human being. When we speak, anytime we're using a microphone, we're multiplying our voice times thousands. So when you speak at these business meetings, make sure you are speaking with a minimum of 860 volts. Now, the electric battery could not have come about without the study of the electric eel. So it really gave back to our society as we speak today. As you can see, all of our digital platforms have some type of battery. As recently as 6 years ago, 2019, they were believed to be monotypic, only Electrophorus electricus, right? But we can see now that they are of a different breed. So sometimes in life, things take time, even finding the right financing or funding for your business. They are nocturnals, meaning that they don't operate at their best. They have poor vision from what we can tell. But what they lack in vision, they have an electrolocation. So they have a radar system where they don't need to perceive everything from their eyes. So for people that are religious, we walk through life by faith and not by sight. We are of poor vision in that sense, but we also have spiritual electrolocation. You're able to tell when it's the right opportunity for your product, your service, your industry, your trade, your investment. So follow your gut feeling. Also, I like the fact, like we said earlier, they are continuously growing. And when you look at the average between 20 years that some specimens have been known to grow, males are larger than females, and you look at the 25 years of development to develop the electric battery, it gives you an idea of what should be the average of every investment that you put forth together, meaning somewhere between 20 and 25 years. So I'm negotiating in 2025, minimum for the next 20 to 25 years, long term bear investment. Now, let's move on to the Lockheed Martin U2 spy plane. Let's see what we can learn. It's a high altitude reconnaissance aircraft. National origin is the United States. Manufacturer Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. Designer Clarence Kelly Johnson. Status still in service. Primary users United States Air Force, Central Intelligence Agency Historical, NASA, Republic of China, Air Force Historical. Number built 104. Manufactured history. 1955 to 1989, introduction date 1956, first flight 1st of August 1959, no, 1955, 69 years ago. And here we go. Let's see what we can learn about the Lockheed Martin Skunk Works U-2. The Lockheed U-2, nicknamed Dragon Lady, is an American single-engine, high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft operated since the 1950s by the United States Air Force, USAF, and the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. It provides day and night high altitude above 70,000 feet, 21,300 meters, all weather intelligence gathering. Lockheed Corporation originally proposed the aircraft in 1953. It was approved in 1954, 1 year later, and its first test flight was in 1955, 2 years later. It was flown during the Cold War over the Soviet Union, China, Vietnam, and Cuba. In 1960, Gary Powers was shot down in a CIA U-2C over the Soviet Union by a surface-to-air missile, or a SAM. Major Rudolph Anderson Jr. was shot down in a U-2 during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. U-2s have taken part in post-Cold War conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq and supported several multinational NATO operations. The U-2 has also been used for electronic sensor research, satellite calibration, scientific research, and communications purposes. The U-2 is one of a handful of aircraft types to have served the United States Air Force for over 50 years, along with the Boeing B-52, Boeing KC-135, Lockheed C-130, and Lockheed C-5. The newest models, TR-1, U-2R, U-2S, entered service in the 1980s, and the latest models, the U-2S, had a technical upgrade in 2012. The U-2 is currently operated by the United States Air Force and NASA. So very quickly, we know that it's high flying. I always give the example of the eagle. In life and in business, in your investments, your products, your services, your industry, your trade, there will be times where you have to fly higher like an eagle to see and study the terrain, to map out the situation. This is my attempt, my approach, my tactical execution of doing just that in real life. Just like the eagle destroys its feathers, its wings, its talons, its claws, its beak during certain moments where it reaches maturity so that it can be reborn. Use this same example here with the U-2. It's so effective and so efficient with only 104 built. Only 2 were ever known to be shot down because it can fly so much higher than the noise, the nonsense, the people putting you down, you know, whether it's the family members or the friends or the peers or the colleagues that think they have everything figured out, but none of them have put in the sacrifice, the blood, the sweat, the tears to learn what you've learned, to study what you've studied, to build that discipline, to gain that knowledge, to be able to involve yourself in all these verticals and horizontals, all these business, industry, trades with products and services. Yet those are the first people to make the noise and tell you that it's impossible. I have a family full of toxic people, all mentally challenged, emotionally destroyed, extremely negative, with an extreme sense of entitlement. I have to overcome that and fly high like an eagle and look down and say, okay, just like if I'm an F-22 Raptor, I'm looking for my prey. I'm looking for my targets. Am I hitting moving targets, still targets? Is it personnel? Is it equipment? Is it artillery? Is it other aircraft? I have to fly as high as I can as an eagle and be Superman and just go to the top, boom, and look at this environment. One more thing we can learn from concept and inception to design and engineering in 1 year to test flight and prototyping within 2 years. So, what can we learn from this project here? You see how effective it has been. 69 going on 70 years of operation. Think about it as a business investment. Yeah, there was some revisions in the 80s, but that's about it. So when I'm looking for this venture capital, this should not be a 2 week thing. This should not be a 2 month thing. This is more like a 24 to 36 month thing. 2 years, I'll be 45. Way before 55, way before 65 for retirement. This is not something that I need to negotiate right away. This is not Acme success. You pour water and concrete and like in Wile E. Coyote and in the Roadrunner, things take time. Again, out of 104 units built, only two have been destroyed during some of the most tense moments. This is during the Cuban Missile Crisis, just as an example. And all of this is recognizance. It's intelligence gathering. So now, how can we be inspired by the YouTube? Think about your business. Think about what these consultants are offering you: a system, research, access to servers, etc. Right? They're gathering intelligence. Well, guess what? You have ChatGPT, you have Copilot, you have Siri, you have Sarah, you have Alexa. Use it. You got Wikipedia, you got Google, you got Bing, you got Yahoo. You can go get a library card. You can connect with people on the business side through LinkedIn. Reach out to these companies, these services, these products, these people. Get to know, feet on the ground. Talk to people at the entry level of the company, all the way up to people at the corporate level, and learn from each one. Expect nothing in return. All I'm here to do is learn. All I want to do is create relationships. We may not be able to do business today, but maybe tomorrow. So I may approach a venture capital firm that specializes in real estate, but I have a technology investment. So at this moment, they don't have a division for technology. Well, guess what? I'm able, in the same way that I reach out to Tom Ford and Banana Republic and The Gap and General Motors and Tesla and Chevrolet and Team Eighth Generation Corvette, or even Mercedes Benz or Ferrari, I'm able to say, you know what? I can pivot, I can juke, I can adapt. Do I have a real estate investment that I can bring to you guys? Maybe not right now, but maybe in the future. The answer is yes. I don't have the luxury to wait for Miss Shapiro, my publicist, to call me and bring me an opportunity. Oh, we're doing a new video game. We have a new movie. John Wick 5 is coming out. Would you like to be the Knight Rider character from Jason Bourne, that was my character. If you watch the last Jason Bourne, I was Knight Rider. Well, I am the Knight Rider character in real life, in the military, and also in the movie. Obviously, they cut out the scenes and whatever, but it doesn't matter. I can't afford to do that. I have to do my market research. I have to find out if there's a project being funded. I have to use people like my friend Salamandrin, which might have an insight and tell me, yo, they're going to do a John Wick 5. They need drivers for this mission, for this scene or whatever. Do you want to get involved with it? I have to bring that to Miss Shapiro. I have to go to the studio. I got to reach out to Sony. I got to reach out to Xbox and say, listen, even if I don't make the cut for the movie or for the series, you can count on me to be in the video game because it's extended universe. It's like Star Wars as a franchise versus The Mandalorian. There's still verticals. There's still horizontals. There's a combination of both. I have to create this opportunity. I have to go and seek out the information. I have to look for a partnership with Saint Martin or Pagani before I go to Rolex, before I go to Audemars Piguet or I go to Patek Philippe. or Richard Milley. Business has changed. This is not like pre-pandemic. This is not like pre-market crash or recessions. This is not like dot-com boom or previous, prior to Bitcoin and Web3 and everything else. Artificial intelligence, everything has changed. So how can we be inspired? We know that the only thing that stood a chance against the U-2 was a surface to air missile. And as you can see, from it being shot down in the 60s, by the 80s, it was untouchable. By the 90s, it was just flying high. 2020s, it's still flying high. You're going to go through these moments, this incubation moment, where all you can do is educate yourself. If the time is there to pray, pray. If the time is there to work out, work out. If the time is there to educate yourself, educate yourself. Use everything God is giving you. What did God give me? The opportunity to learn these things, process these things, develop a teaching method, share it with the world, teach in a different format, help a new generation that may face similar challenges, and be inspired by a creature such as the electric eel. Can be focused on resources, but mostly on resourcefulness, like the U2. The U2 spy plane, the Lockheed Martin Skunk Work U2, for me, represents data acquisition, tokens of data, which is the new language that all these artificial intelligence, NVIDIA Hopper systems, that's all they're built on, is these tokens of information. Miss Hamilton was able to build her own GPT because she was able to feed it its own data tokens. Those data tokens are also a part of who you are. This is why people, such as influencers, can have an AI chatbot on their Instagram. They may not be using it for business, they may be using it for interaction or engagement or I think, yeah, interaction probably will be the best known use. But all this is available to you, and the cost is minimal at best. For a few $1,000s, you can have access to a few million people. Why not go for it? It's the same thing. If this company can take 50, 100,000, half a million, $1 million to do research for me, to make phone calls, if at the end of the day, all I'm going to be doing is cold calls, I could do that shit off LinkedIn. I made it a point to reach out to so many of my peers over the last few months. I realized the people in my network also are human beings. They're also going through things. I may speak about it on Future Tech Plus. I may put it on my podcast. You may hear it in my music, but I'm still dealing with it at the end of the day. They may be dealing with it and not speak about it. So what makes me different is I'm able to build that connection. Now, let's move on. What is a consultant? We've been talking about consultant and raising capital, right? Let's continue. 5 pages, 5 paragraphs, 5 sentences each, 5 words per sentence. You can write it, type it, print it, fax it, PDF, send it to me. It will be on your finals. What is a consultant? According to Wikipedia, please have it on large, wide, and dark mode, which is engineering mode. A consultant, from the Latin word consultare, to deliberate, is a professional also known as an expert, a specialist. See variations of meaning below. Who provides advice or services in an area of specialization. For example, today we're talking about raising capital. Generally to medium or large size corporations. Consulting services generally fall under the domain of professional services as contingent work. The Harvard Business School defines a consultant as someone who advises on how to modify, proceed in, or streamline a given process within a specialized field. I thought the consultant was a liaison, but with more of a administrative and managerial role. I was completely wrong. I learned this in the last year. Subject matter expert versus consultant. Then we'll move on to contractor versus consultant. Okay. Subject matter expert versus consultant. Now I'm going to adjust my voice and my sound so that we can continue because, as you can see, we've warmed up the engines now. According to the Institute of Management Consultants, United States of America, the value of a consultant as compared to subject matter expert, SME, is to be able to correctly diagnose and effectively transform an often ill defined problem and apply information, resources, and hold up, what the heck did I just do? Apologize for that. I moved one thing and it moved everything. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Subject matter expert versus consultant. According to the Institute of Management Consultants, USA, the value of a consultant as compared to a subject matter expert, SME, is to be able to correctly diagnose and effectively transform an often ill defined problem and apply information, resources, and processes to create a workable and usable solution. Some experts are good consultants and vice versa. Some are neither. Few are both. Another differentiation differentiation would be that a consultant sells advice, whereas an expert sells their expertise. Other differentiations exist for consultants versus coaches, or SMEs versus team leaders. Consultants do not have to be subject matter experts, as consultant agreements are a form of labor contract comparable to staffing, which a client procures for more generalized labor, whereas consulting is more specialized labor. Thus, in contrast to advisory services, which is not a labor contract, but an actual service, advisory services never become part of the procuring organization. The market for consulting agreements follows the demand for specialized labor in the form of a consulting procurement. And so, while competence and experience is naturally an advantage for when looking to sell consulting services, it is not a prerequisite in the same way that it is for advisory services, where the service provider, per definition, relies on some level of competence and experience for its relevance. Contractor versus consultant. Sometimes the word consultant applies specifically to someone or organization that provides knowledge, advice, or service, whereas the contractor builds something for the client. Role. The role of a consultant outside the medical sphere, where the term is used specifically for a grade of doctor, can fall under one of two general categories. Internal consultant, someone who was either employed by or contracted by a client organization and operates within a client organization, sometimes within an internal consultancy unit, or external consultant, someone who is employed externally to the client, either by a consulting firm, some other agency, or as an independent freelancer whose expertise is provided under contract for a fee or rate. Business case for hiring a consultant. By procuring consulting services, clients may acquire access to higher grades of expertise than would be financially feasible for them to retain in house on a long term basis. Moreover, clients can control their expenditures on consulting services by only purchasing as much services from the outside consultant as desired. Additionally, consultants are key persons with specific domain skills in creating strategies, leading change, digitalization, leadership coaching, interim management, also called consultant manager, etc. Another business case is that a consultant may save the company money. For example, a specialist tax consultant who saves the company 20% on its taxes and only charges 10% in fees enables the company to net a 10% saving. A portion of professional services in demand for clients are simply not necessary to retain in house, as they may be sporadic in nature, at which a consultant offers a reduction in payroll for the client. In the United Kingdom government sector, since 2010, the Cabinet Office has required government departments to implement spending controls, which restrict the appointment of consultants and temporary staff in order to regulate consultancy expenditure and ensure that the use of consultants offers value for money. A National Audit Office report published in 2015 recommends that all UK government departments adopt a strategic plan to assess their current skills and expected skill gaps so that their future need for consultants and temporary staff could be better predicted. Delivery of service. Let me see something. Okay, so basically, this establishes a baseline, right? A consultant is trying to solve a few basic problems. They're really good at that. They either do it directly or indirectly, meaning they may hire a professional to do that for them. So, this is why we spoke about consultants. Okay, now let's go back to where we started. This all started from the McLaren Artura, and we're making our way to the McLaren P1 in more than one way. Let's talk about electricity for a second because it's the common denominator, right? The battery, digital platforms, technology, everything runs on electricity, our bodies, etc. Electricity is the set of physical phenomena associated with the presence and motion of matter possessing an electric charge. Electricity is related to magnetism, both being part of the phenomenon of electromagnetism, as described by Maxwell's equations. Common phenomena are related to electricity, including lightning, static electricity, electric heating, electric discharges, and many others. The presence of either a positive or negative electric charge produces an electric field. The motion of electric charges is an electric current and produces a magnetic field. In most applications, Coulomb's law determines the force acting on an electric charge. Electric potential is the work done to move an electric charge from one point to another within an electric field, typically measured in volts. Electricity plays a central role in many modern technologies, serving in electric power, where electric current is used to energize equipment, and in electronics, dealing with electrical circuits involving active components such as vacuum tubes, transistors, diodes, and integrated circuits, and associated passive interconnection technologies. The study of electrical phenomena dates back to antiquity, with theoretical understanding progressing slowly until the 17th and 18th centuries. The development of the theory of electromagnetism in the 19th century marked significant progress, leading to electricity's industrial and residential application by electrical engineers by the century's end. This rapid expansion in electrical technology at the time was the driving force behind the second industrial revolution, with electricity's versatility driving transformations in both industry and society. Electricity is integral to applications spanning transport, heating, lighting, communications, and computation, making it the foundation of modern day society. So, what can we learn from this, right? How can we implement this in our daily lives and in our businesses? Electricity is the energy field, right? It's the electromagnetic charge of polar opposites, positive and negative. I could have used all my energy and invested it into all my negative, toxic relatives, all my doubtful worries and insecurities, my friends, my family members, my peers, my colleagues. Or I could educate myself and do something positive and sharpen up the tools and the weaponry that I'm going to need to secure this contract for these products and these services. Sometimes we, as victims of abuse, can find codependency. It's like when the person that's kidnapped falls in love with the kidnapper, right? Well, the same is true in my life, right? Every single day, under the pretense assumption that everybody has an education, everybody's ethical, and everybody thinks morally, right? Spiritually, psychologically. I want to share. Look what I'm building. Look what I'm doing. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We can do it better. We can do it as a family. We can do it as a team because that's the way to reach greatness. And every holy scripture tells you that's how you do it. And every um, beautiful religious belief, all these positive things. But again, I'm speaking Japanese to a Chinese person. I'm addressing people that don't have my education and trading. They don't have my knowledge. They don't have my experience. They don't understand. They cannot relate. They don't see me fighting the good fight, slaying the dragons every day. All they are is an additional obstacle. Even though I have to win the war to secure that our empire succeeds and is able to grow and expand and create a pathway for God's people moving forward eons and eons and eons from now. I could disperse my energy in a negative way by wasting it on negative people. I no longer live my life for people that don't love me. Anything that's not positive is not a part of my life. I don't belong to that universe. I don't subscribe to that universe. And I don't subscribe or prescribe that universe to anybody else. So if I know that it's toxic and it's negative for me and my reality and my existence, then I'm not going to advise that for you. How am I overpowering and overcoming that? By flying higher like the eagle, like the U-2 spy plane before I become the F-22 Raptor and start destroying shit. I analyze all of the data that's available to me. I see the patterns and I'm able to change those patterns. Just like the eagle destroys his beak and his talons, his wings, and everything, and goes through this quantum solace, goes through this metamorphosis so that it can come back stronger, even when things are not perfect. Again, I may only be able to pray, meditate, and educate myself today. I may only be able to teach. I may only be able to design and engineer, not build or manufacture, not produce and retail or distribute or promote and market. I have to do all I'm able to do with everything that God has given me, because God doesn't owe it to me, doesn't have to give it to me. He's giving me the opportunity. Let me do the very best thing. So I could have poured all my energy into my toxic family members and friends, colleagues and peers, clients and customers, or I can use it to build and create something new out of nothing, making a cake out of crumbs. You understand me? I could have used that energy internally and complained about the system and society and life and this happened and that happened. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I'm dodging, I'm dodging. No, no, no. I'm not dodging. I'm throwing a hook. I'm not going for the punch out. I'm not going for the knockout, but I might put in a quick uppercut. I may have to defend, but then I can come back with jabs in a combination. I can bomb and weave. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So how can we be inspired? We understand how electricity works in the electric eel, in a battery, in a computer system, in a software, hardware application, through magnetism, electrical charges that are positive and negative. I choose to be on the positive frequency. I choose to do good with whatever the universe has given me. I don't accept what the universe has given me. I don't agree with what the universe has given me, but I'm going to use everything that God has given me because in control of that universe is God. And there are finite rules. The most powerful element is not electricity, it's love. And as long as everything I'm doing with the utmost greatest intentions, my job is complete. So, how can we be inspired? How can we understand that energy just changes forms, right? The same electricity inside the eels, inside the battery, inside the computer, inside the system that flies the U2, that flies the defensive systems, the terrain programs, the tactical systems in the F-22 Raptor is the same thing. The same electricity is used to gather the data for the electric eel with electro aerial uh, intelligence or sight or sense or feel or palpitation. It's a radar plex system. It's a system inside a system, just like the navigation system. Even though the F-22 is gaining data to lock in on a target and execute its mission on its course, the U-2 does it differently. It flies higher, it gathers intelligence, and that's all it's designed to do. How can we be inspired? We need to keep the positivity flowing. Surround yourself with God's people, positive places, positive things. Do not allow not even one negative thought to enter. Yes, we all have days where that happens, but we have to remember that there's more days like today where we have a fighting chance. And those are the days we have the Oyukan and the Hatak Taktukan and we have the Adukan. Those are the days we could do the fatalities and the flawless victories. We need to remember those days. Now, let's go back to the inception. Where did we get all this inspiration? We thought about a hybrid system for engineering. We thought about hybrid technology, electrical systems, hardware, software. Let's move on to the McLaren Artura. And cheers. The McLaren Artura. The McLaren Artura is a hybrid electric sports car designed and manufactured by the British car manufacturer McLaren Automotive since 2022. It is the third hybrid by the company since the P1 and the Speedtail, and the first with a V6 engine. The name Artura was announced on the 23rd of November 2020. It is a combination of the words art and future. It inaugurates a new carbon fiber chassis called MCLA, McLaren Carbon Lightweight Architecture. Specifications. Engine. The Artura uses an all-new 2,993 cubic centimeter, 3-liter, 182.6 cubic inch twin turbocharged V6 engine paired with an electric motor to produce a combined output of 500 kilowatts, 680 PS, or 671 brake horsepower at 7,500 RPM and 720 Newton meters of torque which is 531 pound-feet of torque at 2,250 RPM. On its own, the engine produces 430 kilowatts, 585 PS or 577 brake horsepower, and 584 newton meters of torque, 431 pound-feet of torque. The all-aluminum engine has a bank angle of 120 degrees, a world first for a production V6 engine. This is to accommodate a hot V layout where the two turbochargers are placed in the V of the engine. Power is sent to the rear wheels through an all-new 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. Redline is at 8,500 RPM. Let's learn about the electric motor. The electric motor used in the Artura produces 70 kilowatts, 95 PS, and 225 newton meters of torque, 166 pound-feet of torque. The combined torque peak is less than the sum of both sides, as the output is limited to optimize powertrain drivability characteristics. The 7.4 kilowatt hours 27 mJ lithium ion battery pack weighs 88 kilograms or 194 pounds and is positioned under the rear of the passenger compartment. McLaren claims a 2.5-hour time for an 80% charge using an EVSE cable and a 31-kilometer, 19 miles electric range under European testing methodology. This motor replaces the reverse gear, similar to the Ferrari SF90 Stradale. The total mass of all electrical components is 130, 287 pounds, which means that the Artura has a curb weight only 400 kilograms, 102 pounds more than that of its predecessor, the McLaren 570S. The Artura has a range of 30.6 kilometers, 19 miles on electric-only mode. Performance. According to McLaren, the Artura can accelerate to 100 kilometers per hour, 62 miles per hour, in 2.9 seconds, to 200 kilometers per hour, 124 miles per hour, in 8.3 seconds, and can achieve a maximum speed of 330 kilometers per hour, 205 miles per hour, and has a quarter mile, 402-meter time of 10.7 seconds. Now, very quickly, let's put it on the rig. You guys are ready? Dimensions. Wheelbase 2,640 millimeters, 103.9 inches. Length 4,539 millimeters, 178.7 inches. Width 1,913 millimeters, 75.3 inches. Height 1,193 millimeters, 47 inches. Curb weight 1,498 kilograms, 3,302 pounds for the coupe, 1,560 kilograms, 3,439 pounds for the Spider. And the chronology, the predecessor is the McLaren 570S. I have a nice one with a wing on it. As much as I would like to go to the Speedtail, let's go to the McLaren P1, which is why we're here. The McLaren P1, codenamed P12, is a flagship sports car produced by British marque McLaren Automotive, styled by American car designer Frank Stephenson. It is the second installment in McLaren's Ultimate Series after the McLaren F1. Considered to be the spiritual successor to the F1, the P1 was one of the first high-performance sports cars to be introduced incorporating hybrid technology. The Porsche 918 Spyder having begun taking orders prior to the P1, and the LaFerrari introduced alongside it. First shown as a concept on the 20th anniversary of the F1 at the 2012 Paris Motor Show. The P1 made its debut at the 2013 Geneva International Motor Show. In similar fashion to the F1, the P1 is mid engine, rear wheel drive, and has a carbon fiber monocoque. Stevenson drew inspiration for parts of the car from a sailfish he saw when on holiday in Miami. In all, 375 units were produced, with several special editions such as the non-road legal P1 GTR and P1 Le Mans, among others, having smaller production runs. Several pre-production prototypes utilized by McLaren for testing were later refurbished, modified, and sold to customers. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. So we're going to do our showcase. And once again, shout out to Vanderhall, Fort Lauderdale, Carrillo Motor Cars. One quick second. If you are interested in any of the vehicles in our highlight, my phone number is 504-202-5915. My name is Jonathan Marte Pena. I'm the artist known as Venom R1, with a catalog of over 8,000 songs, World Guinness record holder, establisher, breaker, industry disruptor, first digital artist on the blockchain. My Cash App is Venom R1 Wins. You can link up with me on LinkedIn. For any other information, our dealership is located at 5120 North State Road, number 7, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The phone number is 954 733 7555. And we're open today from 9 to 6. I'm on the West Coast, so we close in about an hour. Perfect time, right? Now, let's go through our inventory. Right now, I have about 236 vehicles in this collection, so let's talk about it. I have a used 2021 Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport, one of 60 for the world, 3,289 miles, stock number 795021. I apologize. Our listing price is $5,999,998. It's Atlantic blue paint, and it was at the Bugatti display for Monterey Car Week of 2021. I also have a 2023 Chiron Pure Sport, also listed for $5,999,998. Stock number is 795054. I have another 2023 Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport, one of 60 for the world, full exposed carbon body and wheels. This is a complete exposed carbon fiber, orange interior, and I have the orange stripes on it. 540 miles, stock number 020000, listed for $5,999,998. Again, that's another 23. The first one is a 21. My second one is silver, black racing stripes, red brakes, red and gray interior, two-tone with the black, and of course 16 on the badge. Black wheels. The first one is blue. It's New York Mets colors. It has the orange stripes, but it's the light orange. And for my 23, it's all exposed carbon. My favorite, orange 16, orange interior, orange stripes. Probably my personal favorite. I have a used 2021 Lamborghini Scion or Scion Roadster 6.3, 415 miles. This is one of my previous cars. Stock number is A10754, listed for $5,499,998. I have a 2024 Bugatti Chiron Super Sport, white, blue interior, black racing stripes, blue brakes, 1,300 miles, stock number 795097. Our price, $4 million, 999,998. I have a 2023. By the way, that's a 24, and it has the open vent on the top, the see-through glass on the center console. I have a used 2023 Bugatti Chiron Super Sport, stock number 795072, listed for $4 million, 799,998. This one is silver, um, cafe interior, uh, two tone with the black. Uh, Not no racing stripes, but I have a pinstripe, and it's a two tone, and I have the star rims just like my 24. This is a 23. I have a 2018 Bugatti Chiron fully exposed carbon. It's blue carbon, black carbon tone, blue brakes, blue interior. 5,760 miles, stock number 795059, listed for $3 million, 399,998 before taxes and fees, and of course, my commission. I have a 2023 Ferrari 812 Competizione Aperta extra range paint interior suspension lifter with carbon package, of course, yellow stripes, 818 miles, stock number 297176, listed for $2 million, 799,998. And we have chassis number 233 out of 375, MSO Kilo Gray Paint, tons of MSO options, Meridian DSP audio system, signed by P1 designer Frank Stevenson himself. It is gunmetal gray, two-tone with the black, orange brake calipers, fully loaded. 2015 McLaren P1 chassis number 233 out of 375, MSO Kilo Gray Paint, tons of MSO options, signed by P1 designer. 977 miles, my personal car. Stock number 000233, listed for the low price, the bargain price of $2 million, 199,998. As you can tell, everything else that I have in the inventory is a little bit more, but you're not getting less of a car. This is 2015. There's less of them on the road. I believe this is an excellent investment. The value of these cars is only going to go up. W1, W2 is a great machine. It's going to take time for people to kind of adjust to it. It's not about the top speed, it's the overall package. Look at the reviews by people like Jay Leno, and they'll tell you how special this car is. Let us continue. Used 2023 Ferrari 812 Competizione, tailor-made, one of one. Too many options to list. 567 miles, stock number 290961, listed for the low price, 1,999,998. We have a 2022 Ferrari 812 Competizione. The first one is white, uh, racing stripe, full black, black carbon brakes. It has the number patch on the doors. It has the hand painted Maranello sign, red interior. The second one is silver, red racing stripe, black outside on the skirts, full carbon package, red interior. 2022 Ferrari 812 Competizione, 314 miles, stock number 279873, coupe, 1,899,998. Now we have another special car for McLaren. Shout out to Team McLaren. Papaya Spark Paint, meaning the orange. It's the orange and black. Personal car. Exposed blue carbon throughout. Bowers and Wilkins sound system. So this is blue carbon. This is orange brake calipers. Is the Lechosa orange, Dominican Republic spec. Senna emblems on the wing, fully adjustable. Center locking wheels, all orange caps. Again, personal vehicle, 762 miles, 2019. I've only had this car for about 4.5 years. Stock number 800482, listed for the low price only today, $1 million, 599,998. That's two of my personal owned cars right here. And if you notice, I don't think 812 Competizione is a better car. But let's continue because we have a sale for the next hour. One of seven Competizione series, 2018 Ford GT, one of seven Competizione series, 1,345 miles, another personal car, stock number 100039, listed for the low price today only, $1,299,998. And last but not least, of my personal cars, chassis number 220 of 350, Arancio Atlas paint, not Arancio Borealis. Arancio Atlas interior accents, exterior interior carbon fiber trim. 2010 Lamborghini Murcielago Super Veloce SV chassis number 220 out of 350. Of course, I wanted 225, but I couldn't get it. Arancio Atlas paint, carbon galore on the inside. 20,474 miles. I did put a lot of miles on this car. This car was in Dominican Republic. $1,000,000, $199,998 back in the United States, back in Florida. Get it before it's gone. Again, the low price of $1.2 million, not including taxes, fees, registration, and of course my commission. 504-202-5915. The Cash App is Venom R1 Wins. If you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, I have two of my own personal cars, but these are no longer mine. 2021 Lamborghini Aventador SVJ Roadster Verde Mantis paint, ad personam calipers, Sensonum sound system, 480 miles, stock number 810120 for the low price of 999,998. If you buy one of my Bugattis, we can cut you a deal on one of these. I also have a blue, baby blue 2021 Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. These are both roadsters. They both go together. This one has a little bit more miles, 729 miles. Stock number A10062, listed for the low price today only, 999,998, including not including taxes, title registration, and fees, including my commission. 504-202-5915. Venom R1 Wins is the Cash App. I have a 2020 Ferrari 488 Pista Piloti tailor-made build, Rosso Corsa paint with Tricolori. Too many options to list. 607 miles, stock number 145214, 999,998. Let us continue. 2021 Lamborghini Aventador SVJ Roadster, blue Aegis paint, signed by Lambo President Steven. 6,048 miles, stock number 810195, listed for 949,998. We have another 2015 Ferrari 458 Italia Speciale, only 296 miles, Rosso Maranello paint, carbon fiber Alcantara interior. This one has a blue racing stripe. It has the wide body accents on the racing stripes. Red interior. 296 miles, practically brand new, 2015. Stock number 204661, listed for the low price of 899,998. We have, this is my son's car. Oro Elios paint, ad personam comfort seats, ad personam Oro Elios calipers, exterior, interior carbon fiber trim. It's a Spider. It's an Aventador SVJ, so gold tone color, black wheels, matching gold brake calipers, fully loaded. 6,919 miles. Stock number 809611, listed for the low price today only, $899,998. And we have our final two. So I hope you guys are ready, and I hope you guys enjoy this, okay? 2020 Ferrari 488 Pista Spider. I took this in on a trade-in, 1,513 miles. Again, it's a 2020, beautiful white color. It's the white from the 812 Superfast. I have the champagne wheels on it, black brakes, black interior, black racing stripes, yellow accent, the thin accents. Stock number is 255122, 899,998. And last but not least, Car that's very special, very dear to me. Won a lot of contests in Sanford, Florida. It's a 2017 Lamborghini Aventador SV Super Veloce with the wing, carbon fiber package, black wheels, BBS style, multi-spoke, one-piece center locking wheels, yellow brake calipers, yellow stitching on the piping, black interior. 2017 Lamborghini Aventador SV Super Veloce, 63 miles, stock number 806070. Today only $799,998. So again, any other questions? 504-202-5915. Jonathan Marte Pena, the artist known as Venom R1. Published book author, 45 books, 8,000 song catalog. First artist to have his entire catalog digitally on the blockchain as an NFT collection. Our dealership is located at 5120 North State Road, number 7, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You can call the dealership directly. Tell them I sent you. 954-733-7555. And we're open today until 6 p.m. Eastern Time, which gives you guys 45 minutes to get in on some of these deals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, are we finished? No, of course we're not. There's more. Are you ready? What is funding? Let's say we wanted to start a portfolio of investments. We needed it for a product or service, an idea, something we want to create doesn't exist. What is funding? Getting capital to invest. Some people have the money, some people have the idea. Some people can manage the money, multiply the money, make it work for other verticals and horizontals. Funding is the act of providing resources to finance a need, program, or project. While this is usually in the form of money, it can also take the form of effort or time from an organization or company. Generally, this word is used when a firm uses its internal reserves to satisfy its necessity for cash. While the term financing is used when the firm acquires capital from external sources. Sources of funding include credit, venture capital, donations, grants, savings, subsidies, and taxes. Funding methods such as donations, subsidies, and grants that have no direct requirement for return of investments are described as soft funding or crowdfunding. Funding that facilitates the exchange of equity ownership in a company or capital investment via an online funding portal per the Jumpstart Our Business Startups Act, alternately the Jobs Act of 2012 in the United States, is known as equity crowdfunding. Funds can be allocated for either short-term or long-term purposes. So now let's highlight some of these key concepts for you new entrepreneurs that must learn to value what you bring to the table. This is what it says in the first two sentences. Funding is the act of providing resources. So it's not just resources, it's resourcefulness. It's being able to make a cake out of crumbs. It's being able to take an idea from inception to design to engineering to manufacturing to distribution to promotion and marketing and publicity. What you're doing, whether you're creating the need or you're financing the need for a project or a program, it's the same thing. Sweat equity, bootstrapping, every effort that you're putting in is worth something. It is an investment of your time and of what you bring to the table, your energy, your electricity. While this is usually in the form of money, and we understand social political structures are going to say, well, it has to deal with money. No, it can also deal with your insights, your vision, your point of view, what you're bringing to the table. It could take the form of effort or time. for an organization or company, a collective, group of people, or an individual. So do not take your efforts lightly. Always know what your value is, always know what your worth is. Always compare everything you're doing to the market and keep up with the market on a daily basis. So now, to finalize everything, let us very quickly check the markets so I can give you guys something updated, right? Give me one quick second. Let me just fire this up just to give you guys a little bonus just because I appreciate you guys, okay? Very much respect you guys. You guys are my inspiration. The same way you're here to learn, I'm here to learn from all of you and be inspired by all of you. Let's give you guys something cool. Hmm. Okay, I'll give you guys two fun ones, okay? Nintendo confirms pre-orders date for Switch 2 in the United States. Nintendo announced Friday that United States retail pre-orders for the Switch 2 will begin on April 24, maintaining the previously revealed launch price of $499. A bundle including Mario Kart World will also remain priced at $499.99. Game prices are unchanged. The company had postponed pre orders earlier this month due to new reciprocal tariffs, but said today that it hopes this confirmation eases customer concerns. While accessory prices will be adjusted due to market shifts, the console price remains stable for now. Nintendo reaffirmed that Switch 2 will launch on June 5th, 2025. The company thanked fans for their patience and hinted that further price changes may occur dependent on market conditions. Nintendo Company Limited chains at a negative 0.50%, $17.97. Nintendo Company Limited is in the green, 3.11% at $63.62. And Reddit. It's funny, we were just talking about Reddit, right? Reddit fixing elevated site errors. Reddit announced on Monday that it is implementing a fix on what it described as elevated errors across its website and applications. The incident was first reported at 11:52 a.m. Eastern Time. Meanwhile, Reddit confirmed it applied the fix and is monitoring results. Later on, the company confirmed the problem was solved. According to Down Detector, the issue was mostly reported in the areas around New York, Chicago, Phoenix, and Los Angeles. Reddit Incorporated stands in the red 2.09%, $94.15 a share. And let's look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin is in the green 2.21%, $87,055.664. Ethereum in the red 0.80%, $1,574, 6,577 of a penny. Why is Ethereum down so much? You see, you learn something every day. Well, Tron is in the green 0.98%, the Green Ranger at 24 cents, 6,200 of a penny. Wow, man, you see, you learn something new every day. Well, once again, thank you guys for joining us today in this gathering of the minds. I hope that this can help you on your journey. Um, I believe I have conveyed everything I wanted to convey to all of you guys. May you have an amazing day today. May you conquer everything in your path. May everything that you touch turn into beautiful, solid gold bars and silver bars, and beautiful and precious gemstones such as moissanite and laboratory grown diamonds. Always remember to dream big because dreams come true. It happened to me, and I know for a fact it's going to happen to you guys. Thank you guys so much. We're going to continue on this wave of positivity for as long as God gives it to us. We're going to make these dreams come true. No dream is too big, no dream is too small. No product, no service is unneeded in the market. Anything is possible. If anybody could do it, it's you, right? Dreams come true. So let's go and pursue those dreams. Let's do the right thing and let's help as many people as we can by giving love, support, understanding. Okay? Thank you guys so much. And special shout out to all my friends and family, all my peers and my colleagues, all my clients and my customers, all my sponsors and my endorsements. You guys are my inspiration every day. Sometimes I can be a little bit rough around the edges. This is tough love, but love nonetheless. So we'll see you on the next one. Love you guys. That's all the time that we have for today. So tune in because we'll be right back. Please like, subscribe, share, comment down below, thumbs up, thumbs down, and help us grow. You know, we have so many students that connect with us through every other medium. We want to continue to grow our YouTube channel presence. So help the channel. Just share it, like it, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, we love you, we respect you, we honor you, and we appreciate you taking out of your valuable time to spend here with us as we're all learning from each other. Any questions or concerns, you guys have my email, cyrexplex@gmail.com, 504-202-5915. The Cash App is Venomar1Wins if you want to buy me a coffee. All donations are welcome. Every dollar counts. Even if it's $1, it will help us tremendously. We can hire more professionals, more people, get involved into more projects and more services and more products and more industries and more trades. And we could keep growing and growing and growing and, get to the future. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much. Once again, shout out to you, Morpheus, man. I love you so much, man. Thank you so much for all your love and support and understanding. You have a brother for life. You already know. Love you guys so much. You guys are my inspiration. God bless you. And as always, throw up the peace sign.